back to another Ghostly Manor construction update. We've got loads to show you in this update. Our phantom phases have arrived. The scaffolding is down on the main facade, so make sure you stay tuned because we've got lots and lots to show you in this update. And make sure you watch to the end of the video where we're going to give one of you a chance to win a real life phantom phaser. So let's start at the front. Lots to show you right here. The first being that we've put these black posts up. Now these will actually hold the main rule board for the ride, which will show all the restrictions and all the details of what goes on inside. However, we've used the space for a bit of marketing messaging to show people when the ride opens as they're walking past, as of course the park is now open, so people are walking past this area. We've also got the main signage up top here, which is looking fantastic. We're working on getting power to this area. The gates are in as well, and it's creating a fantastic entrance into Ghostly Manor. You'll see the block paving is complete around me, and we're just prepping this area for tarmacking, which is going to happen in the next few weeks. So yeah, loads going on at the front. We've also added these lights up onto the pillars. Now we weren't actually quite happy with these ones, so we're going to change these to a few more ornate versions. So these aren't final yet, but really just placeholders for the real thing. But don't worry, we'll still reuse these somewhere else around the park. As we move through into the garden area, you'll notice that a lot of the plants are down here in pots. So we put our plants in pots initially down where they're going to sit, so we can see how the garden area is going to look, and then we can start planting them properly. So our gardens and our landscaping team are working on that, really bringing this area to life, and it's starting to really feel like a proper ornate manor area. And that's what we're going for with this, a proper formal garden area, but not too perfect, a bit run down, because you want to give it that sort of ghostly vibe as well. We've started some work on the base of this main prop in the middle of the garden, so adding some detail to the concrete at the bottom to just give some texture to that area too. Now I have a small confession to make about the well. In the last video I said it was going to move up and down. I've been reliably informed by our projects team that it does not move up and down. However, hopefully you'll still agree that it looks fantastic, and now with all this detailing on the front it's going to look brilliant. But yeah, they told me the cost of making it move up and down, and I said no, it's not worth it, I'm afraid. There is power in there though. I don't see what the big problem is. Now a massive change, which you can see behind me, is that the scaffolding has come down on the main facade, and I think you'll agree that it looks amazing. We're so happy with it. Still some finishing off to do around the bottom, but you can see the go-away green that I was talking about on the left. I think that's worked really well, and the little details that have been added, the windows and the curtains, and when all the lighting's on up there, yeah, it's going to look brilliant. So on this secondary facade up here, this side is unthemed, but we decided that it was standing out a bit too much with this sort of grey colour, so we've given it a good clean, and you can see we've been testing up some paint colours over there, and eventually this whole thing will be that brown colour, which will hopefully make it blend into the theming a bit more, because we felt as you were walking through the gardens it stood out a bit and jarred a bit against the highly themed facades. So yeah, a bit of a change there, but not quite done yet, but just testing the paint at the moment. Final update out the front is that we've actually had the real music for Ghostly Manor playing out here. So there's some speakers at the top which have been themed in, and it sounded brilliant. Yeah, really excited to share that with you too. So now let's head inside and see what updates we've got in there. Now we're inside the main pre-show area, and the main update in here is that the queue line fencing is being installed, and also the fencing in front of this main show set here, which we're not going to show you too much of because it's a more of a surprise. But yeah, this is going to help define the flow of guests through the attraction and just create a little bit more space for the queue line as well. Within here as well, we're also creating a lot of media for the screens and stuff that goes on in here. So there's going to be a full pre-show with a story from Dr. Kinley, and also in the next room we've got some cool stuff to show you for pre-show 3 as well. Our engineering team have had some fun with this little area, and they've installed this pretty cool hidden camera where guests can actually see themselves as they're walking around the queue line. Pretty spooky, right? And we've also got this big screen up here, and that's got a nice surround around it, and that will show some safety instructions and instructions for guests on how to use the phantom phasers and how to board the ride when they're ready to go on. So we're now back inside the main ride area for Ghostly Manor. There's been loads of work going on in here. Not all of it that visible because a lot of it's been the work that Lagatronics are doing, programming the ride, setting up the lighting, the projectors, everything that makes Ghostly Manor, you know, a real life breathing attraction, which we're really excited about. So yeah, they've been working really hard in here, ready for the ride to open in May. One of the changes that you can see inside Ghostly Manor is the addition of these big thick black curtains up here. Now we put these in because it really helps immerse guests in the ride, and it stops any light or sound bleed coming from the two individual scenes, because don't forget, on this side people will be playing one scene and on this side people will be playing another completely different scene, so we need to make sure that the lights and the sounds don't traverse between the scenes to make sure that guests are completely immersed in what they're doing at that time within the ride. Another thing that you can see is the addition of these small screens within the ride vehicles. Now this is where the guests will be able to see their scores when they're on the ride and how well they're doing capturing all the ghosts that have escaped within Ghostly Manor. Another massive change is the painting of these walls. Now these walls have been painted with special projection paint because this is where the main scenes are going to be. So there are 3 main big projection scenes within the ride and then 5 internal scenes. So yeah, these have been put on with a special kind of paint that really brings a wall to life and allows you to project on it. There's a special kind of paint that we use that has certain elements to it. I don't exactly know what exactly the elements are, but it means that you can project onto it, which is pretty cool. We've seen it with some proper content on, and the projectors are fantastic. They look so good. So yeah, really excited. When we get the full scene on there, it's going to be so immersive because guests are only sat right here in this carriage, so you're really close to it. It's going to be really one of those rides that you're going to have to ride multiple times to really take everything in. Yeah, looking really, really cool. So each external scene is powered by 2 short throw projectors. Now these projectors up here are super expensive, super high quality, and they're really, really cool. So they use a fisheye lens to project one side of the screen and the other one projects the other side of the screen. So you can kind of see that here, and that's what's happening on here. The team from Lagatronics are starting to blend the images together to create one scene. So yeah, really, really cool. Love the technology behind this ride. Now, here's something really exciting. We've taken delivery of the first set of phantom phasers. Now, these are the blasters that people are going to use inside the ride to shoot the ghosts. They're really cool. We're really happy with them. I think you'll agree they look fantastic. They're a great size, great for adults, great for kids as well, which is really important. Good trigger movement on it. This is just a dummy, so it doesn't have the light, which will appear here, and also there'll be a sound that comes out of the back when you pull the trigger. So a really great sense of immersion, and you get a great feedback when you're using the device. There's currently loads more phantom phasers being manufactured by Lagatronics in the Netherlands because of course we need 8 per ride vehicle, 4 on each side. So they're being put together at the moment. Each part is injection molded in durable plastics. Of course, this is going to be taking some lots of wear and tear as people use them throughout the day. So they need to be quite durable, need to be easily replaceable as well, so things come apart and we can replace the components inside as well. But yeah, they're currently being made within the Netherlands at the moment. Of course, the real blasters will be tethered to the ride vehicle with a cord, so that they can't actually leave the ride vehicle because we don't want them going walkabout. And of course, there's loads of technology inside the blasters, the different sensors that allow the blaster to communicate with the ride, and the light and the sound and everything that has to work together to give that really immersive experience when you're using the phantom phaser. So up here in what was the old projection room for the 4D cinema, we've installed the cabinet for Lagatronics. Now this is the brains behind the ride. This is what controls everything that goes on within the actual game engine. So the communication of the blasters, all the projectors, all the timings for the scenes, all the different animatronics that are in the ride that have to be triggered based on different points. So it's all happening in this server rack here. So there's loads of stuff in here. I won't confess to know what all of it does, but I'm told that it works really well. The last time we were up here, you probably saw a big mess of cables that were coming up from these cable trays up here. Now, as you can see, these have all been beautifully cable managed, and they, yeah, it pleases me greatly to see this, and it looks fantastic. So this side is going to the Mac Rides cabinet, which is what controls the ride system, and this side is going to the Lagatronics cabinet, which is what controls, as I said, the game system. So you can see the amount of cabling here leads to the complexity in the ride, and there's so much going on, but it's going to create a fantastic experience, and we can't wait for you to experience it. That massive cable is the main supply from the from Critter Creek, so it's quite cool. And from this amazing vantage point, you get a really good look at Ghostly Manor, so you can see that actually it takes up a really small footprint within the building, but there's so many scenes and there's so much packed into this ride. It's going to create a fantastic experience, and we cannot wait to show everyone. I like this one cable here because it's like goes from Mac to Lagatronics, and that's the one thing that controls their communication, but quite important cable. And now on to our special competition where you could win a real life Phantom Phaser. Now all you have to do is hit that subscribe button and comment below what you love most about Ghostly Manor so far, and one of you could win this very Phantom Phaser. Thank you for watching this update video on the construction of Ghostly Manor. As you can see, it's really coming along and we're reaching the end of the project now, but there's still quite a lot to do. Obviously the gardening team will be out here doing the landscaping and planting all the plants, and inside the ride is going to be the start of the commissioning process for our team. So Lagatronics and Mac will begin the handover to our engineering and our park operations team, and they'll start writing procedures and testing the ride and ensuring that the ride is operated as efficiently and as safely as possible. So thank you for watching, and yeah, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next video. We'll show you what we can of that without giving away too many of the surprises. So each external steam. Oh God, what did I say? Back in when we were open in February. Why did I say open in February? Oh God, I'm in maintenance mode. That was off the cuff. I didn't even write that. Back in here. No problem. We will not vanish into the floor. We'll try our best. I won't fall down. I've taken my ladder safety course. Of course, we love a nicely cable managed server rack. It's just a rack. I mean, it's not that exciting, but it's like a nature documentary. I like Attenborough. I don't know what that is. It's the guy from Ice Age. So, can you hear it quite clearly? So when the ride opens in May. We're reaching the end of the no.